Hey, it's the Help I Work in Home Building series, and once again, I'm joined by my partner in industry legend, Rob Hutton. How you doing, Rob?
All good. Thank you. I hope you're well.
Good. Very good, very good. Look, in this short series, we are discussing how to set yourself up for success in your home building career for 2025, but it be relevant for any year. And in the last episode, Rob brought up something that I just want to cover. And Rob, you mentioned about being on the deal. Now, what did you mean by that? Because I think it's really important moving into the new year.
Well, this actually came from my days as a division president with the D.R. Horton Company. And the CEO at that time, Don Tomnitz, would frequently mention or maybe rhetorically ask, are you on the deal? Or you need to get on the deal. The context that particular time, although I seem to recall him saying it for the 13 years I was there frequently, and that is you got to be behind the company initiatives. We're asking you to, several years there, we were on a 20% annual growth rate. So we're asking you for 20%. You got to go figure it out with your teams. That's why we've hired you. That's why you've hired them. Go figure it out. But we need 20%. And it could be something having to do with technology, rolling out certain types of, let us say, programmable thermostats, security systems, Cat5 wiring, whatever it might be. And the company wants to do that in all communities, in all markets, because they obviously would be able to gain some buying power by being national, not just in certain regions. So again, are you on the deal or not? There may be an initiative to become more balance sheet efficient, which would typically be measured by return on assets. So if a division or region was pretty heavy on their balance sheet, then they would be asked to find ways to perhaps engage land banks so that they could off balance sheet some of their lofty balance sheet. These are equity deals, since most takedown deals have a bit of earnest money, but not much. Certainly not the kind of balance sheet commitment that an equity deal would represent. And so either that or rotate, if they can't find land banks, rotate to more takedown deals and fewer equity deals, meaning equity, just so the audience is clear, means when you write a check for that $5 million or $10 million tract of land, and then commit another, of course, 10 million or more in land development, and then another, millions more in vertical construction. That's a big balance sheet flag. And so maybe to balance that, fewer new equity deals and more takedown deals. The point is, whatever the mothership is asking for, everyone down the org chart has to be on the deal. And if not, if you're the guy who's at the water cooler talking smack about the CEO or the regional president idiot with gray hair who has forgotten what it's like to be a DP, well, then you're not on the deal. And I allowed my division presidents and a few trusted VPs to candidly, openly speak their mind. And that was sometimes necessary for them to get it off their chest and just vent. And I wasn't bothered by that. Again, I'm more of a collaborative leader. I'm not a top-down, shut up and eat, do what I tell you to do leader. As I mentioned in a previous session, Gerard, I just don't find that approach to be enlightened, and is definitely not the approach of leading and managing that endears people to you and causes them to want to stay on your team, right? So you'll have constant turnover if you're real top down, in my opinion, in my experience. So I didn't mind if they wanted to vent. Like, what? How in the world are we going to hit 20%? What? There is no way that's going to happen, and it's going to stretch us. It's going to push us. We're going to have to really ratchet up our balance sheet. Yada 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 yada. Right? Let them vent. And then once they've got that off their chest, I would usually say, I understand it's not easy. You had to grow up to be a division president. I didn't force you to do it. I wanted to grow up to be a regional president. And so, you know what? Here we are now, both big boys, grown adults, and we've got to go figure this out because this is what the mothership wants. My guys, the A players, would quickly get beyond their venting and move towards the innovation and really ultimately being on the deal, even though they might start fairly negative or, wow, I don't know how in the world we could get there. But then they start meeting with their teams, breaking it down into small bite sized chunks, which is always the best way to eat a large pie, one bite at a time, one bite at a time. OKRs say objectives for for the year are broken down by quarter and then by month and then by week. And you execute on that big plan 1 week at a time, and then those weeks roll up to a quarter, and those weeks roll up to the term, the 6 months. And then before you know it, you're at the end of your fiscal year. And you've gotten there one step at a time, one bite at a time. So it is important in some for everyone in key leadership roles to be behind the company initiatives or the regional initiatives, to be filled with energy and bounce. They got to be up. They have to be engaged, and maybe we can talk about how they might do that on a personal level in a another episode. But
Hmm.
I do think it's important for them to manage their own personal energy. But I need them that way. And in so doing, they are on the deal and we go get things done.
Getting on the deal. Yeah. Um, has there ever been a time when the deal has come in? Yeah, we want to double in size next year, or we want to go from 600 to 1,000 closings. We got the land that, yeah, where we're getting on the deal. Yeah, and you've had your brainstorming sessions and creative planning, and you're just like, we're so far from the deal. Yeah, like the deal is here, and we've sat down, we've got the regionals involved, we brainstormed it with other division presidents and the team, and it is like that target is not happening.
Yeah, well,
Or
that's a
does it
good
always
point. And
happen?
no, we would like for it to always happen, but at the regional level, I had some divisions that I had invested huge dollars in to grow their community count, grow their flag count, community count, same thing. And so I knew that they had them coming up for, let's say, fiscal 25. Whereas others, for some reason, maybe they had turnover in land ac, turnover in land development. You know, maybe they were like in 2014 for me. Houston was in my region, and Houston got hit with an oil crash,
Yeah.
and so WTI dropped significantly. There were a lot of layoffs. It represents about a third of the Houston economy. That
I
is
was
oil
in
and
it. I
gas
lost I
and
lost my
all the
business overnight in 2015. I lost everything
yeah.
overnight, so it
So
was
we
tough.
began to feel it in 14, and then
Yeah.
15 was more of the same, and it was very tough. So what I had to do then, as you it sounds like you painfully know, but what I had to do then is lean on the other divisions. And I told them, look, Houston is they're getting pounded. A third of their market, their economy, is in the tank right now. I have to have you step up. So I need you not to grow by, let's say, at that time it was probably closer to 12% or so. I need you to grow at 20, or I need you to grow at 25, and that extra volume will help pick up Houston. And trust me, in 18 months or 24 months, Houston is going to be picking you up. So this is a team. I need you, those divisions within my region that could run faster than
Mm.
they could. I needed them to step up. So it wasn't just San Antonio for me, but Brian Barron, great operator. He was like, wow, again, you want me to grow at 25, 30% again to help Houston or whoever out? He could. He was a great operator. He could handle volume. He had a great team. And so that's what you do. You're kind of juggling these balls because you do know that there are unusual economic headwinds that hit some of
Yeah.
your markets. It doesn't mean that you can say to the mothership, sorry, we're just not able to participate in growth this year. No, that'll never work. That's never a good answer. It's, hey, Houston's a real problem, but we're going to try to offset over here and here. And it's going to be a hike, but we're going to get it done or die trying.
So we've got on the deal. What happens when you're not on the deal?
So
Because
that's a good
I
question.
think that's an important thing, Rob. Just before we're gonna die trying to hit the deal. Yeah, I think
Yep.
that's a different differentiator, isn't it? It's like we're gonna do everything in our power to hit this deal. Yeah.
One is, I don't think it's going to work. We'll try, but this is almost impossible. I'm telling you, we just are not going to be able to pull this off. You want me to put something on paper? I'll do it, but it's not going to work. That's one mindset, and of course, I typically want nothing to do with people that think that way. Not in leadership positions. I want the guys, again, guys, I'm from Michigan, so men and women who say, let's go. Let's get into it. We've laid out a path for us to get there. It's going to be a very steep climb, but we're going to give it hell and we're going to get there or die trying. That's a different attitude. It's a different mindset. It's a different posture altogether. And I could deal with that. I can't deal with the whining, the complaining, the essential defeat before you've even began. So you didn't really try. You really weren't on the deal. Now that guy, to really answer your question, is again could be a gentleman, it could be a lady who's running the division. Or it could be a VP or director. That would be someone who I would absolutely at that point put on a watch list, have candid conversation with the DP saying you cannot have that person on your team. They're asymmetrical with the way you lead, the way you think, the way you're driving your operation, and they're not a fit. You're the division president. I'm going to trust that you will deal with this, but I'm seeing this as a big red flag here. And so very quickly we would try to manage them out. It's not that they weren't capable, but not in our culture. They might have been very good, seasoned pros in their discipline, but it's always performance and attitude. Those two are really the contrast with the A, B, C, D boxes. The A players have great attitudes and they get it done. They execute. The B players, great attitudes, they just don't know quite yet how to get it done, but they're making progress. They're really trying. C
Did
player
you
know how to get things done, but don't actually have the attitude that you need. So they can perform, but they've just got negative, critical, caustic attitudes, right?
Yeah. And did you see that your A players, even when hit with a ridiculous target, yeah, did you see the A player always get on the deal?
Yeah,
Was
for
that
division
a
presidents.
particular mindset that A players are always on the deal?
Yeah, we got rid very quickly of any division president that was not wired that way. Now they come in all shapes and sizes. Some are, more effusive. Some are more subdued in their personality. It's not necessarily the rah rah cheerleader types that are
Yeah.
the most effective leaders I have found. It's the ones that seem to do really well, get pushed up. They care about their people. They care about their teams.
Mm.
They know they're paid to do a job, and they remind people of that all the time. Here's where we're going. Here's why we're going there. Here's how we're going to get there. And here's where you come into the equation. Constantly telling their teams, here's where we're going. Here's why. Here's how. And here's where you fit in and what's in it for you, by the way. So that whether they're a big type A personality and very let us say demonstrative or more subdued, quiet leader, they're very effective in keeping their team focused and reminding them that we've got a job to do. We need to go do it. The Bill Belichick, just go do your job, famous mantra with his players with New England. And so that's basically what I've seen effective leaders do. You could be bouncing all over the walls, a very big personality. If you don't execute, if you don't hit your hard and soft targets, as we've previously discussed, you're not going to be around long. You just won't. And you may miss in 1 year, but if you come back and miss in a second year, oh wow, the odds of you being able to survive, not good.
Well, there you go. On that bombshell, get on the deal, and, and and take care of yourselves. But we look forward to speaking to you again. All right. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you, Rob.
I'll try to be more uplifting next time, Stuart. Sorry.
It was good. All right. Speak soon.